Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and whoo boy, it's been a while. It's been probably a good 4 or maybe even 5 days since the last time I did an actual live news video. So I'm not even gonna waste any more of your time. I'm just gonna get right into it. So first we have some new box art, although I say new, it actually came out like 3 days ago. Again, way late on this video. I apologize. I'm going to try to catch back up after this. But Barbatos Lupus, Barbatos Lupus Rex, Barbatos Rex, I suppose, is what they're officially calling it. It looks pretty cool. It's box art, you know. I like that little glow effect behind his claws that makes it look like he's kind of slashing out at the camera. And I guess they're probably hidden behind his mace, but at first glance it does look like he doesn't have claws on the other hand, so maybe they like retract in the show. I can't really tell, but it does look like they're a little smaller than his front hand. Unless that's just some kind of, foreshortening thing they did for the box, which is, in all honesty, much more likely. And then we have more pictures of the kit itself. So here we can see him just standing here. And yeah, his fingers are very obviously painted here. That's really shouldn't be too much of a surprise since even the 1/100 didn't have colored nails. So that's something, I guess. But it looks okay. I mean, the only thing that kind of bugs me about the high-grade Barbatoses that we've gotten is that the pointy parts always have those stupid safety nubs on them, which are annoying, but of course you can just shave those off very easily, so I guess that's not a big issue. And then if I remember correctly, I think I have some more images of it here. Yes, I do. I have this one of him swinging down his mace, and the fact that he has the mace touching the ground like this makes me wonder if he can actually hold it, although I may be proved wrong very shortly. Yeah, okay, so the next picture of him, he's holding it with 2 hands. So my theory that he can't actually hold the mace very well with one hand is still holding up, because so far they've showed him propping it up against the ground twice, and they've showed him holding it with 2 hands. So that might be a bit of a problematic issue. But here we can see him again, and yes, again, he's propping it up on the stand, so I strongly suspect that he won't be able to hold the mace with one hand. And then we have one more picture of the kit here, where he's just kind of leaping down in a very cool, very bestial looking pose. It looks pretty awesome. I think I'm going to pick this kit up. I really do. I mean, first of all, it's an IBO high grade, so it's only going to be like $10, or I guess maybe a little more. I think this one's like 1,500 yen because it's got all the claws and stuff. But still, that's pretty cheap for a high grade, so, there's only so much that could go wrong. And speaking of things going wrong, REGENLAZE Julia. Now, of course, everyone hated the original REGENLAZE. I totally see why they did. That kit definitely had some issues. And this kit, I mean, it could be much better. It could fix all those problems, but I'm noticing a lot of the areas people took issue with look like they're pretty much unchanged here. Like, it looks like it uses those same wrist connections. It looks like it has the same kind of hip skirt connections. So I'm thinking maybe this will have a lot of the same problems. I'm really hoping it doesn't, because it looks awesome. Like, this is very obviously trying to be Season 2's version of the Grey's Eynes, and I have to say, I think this looks a lot cooler than the Grey's Eynes just because it's not quite as drab. And these new images actually show us a lot about this kit. First off, I am very happily proved wrong because it turns out that the extended versions of our swords actually can flex and bend, which is very cool. I don't know if they can bend up and down yet, but they do show a very clear ability to bend side to side, which is very nice. And a cool gimmick this looks like it has is actually the legs apparently can kind of fold away, and there's a pair of land legs as well. So this kit can actually stand up on its own. It looks kind of ridiculous with those big grasshopper legs coming out behind it, but I have to say it still looks pretty cool nonetheless, and it's great they found a way to get it to stand without using, well, a stand. Here we can see it again in the air with those ground legs exposed. It's very cool. Again, we got that bendy sword going on, so it's great to see that that's going to be a thing. And here we have it from the back, and as we can see, there are a lot of thrusters, and I have to say, this is a kit that would probably look pretty awesome painted, like with some red or yellow or something inside of all those thrusters. That would really pop. Oh yes, we also have one picture here of the 1/100 scale Barbatos Lupus. This is the full mechanics version. It's basically the high grade, but bigger with more detail. Has a slightly better frame. You know the drill. They're just 1/100s. Don't have any other images to show you other than this one, at least not that I'm aware of at this moment. So we're just going to move right on into the high grade Advanced Evolution Zeta Gundam, which, let's be honest, guys, it's just a revived Zeta Gundam. I mean, they're giving it a fancy new name, but you look at what they're talking about in the articles about it, it's literally just a revive. That's what it is. It's the revived Zeta we've needed for years, and they just want to call it something else, but whatever, fine. I don't care. The name has no impact on it. The point is it's a revived Zeta, and we've needed one, and we're finally getting one, and I am very excited. So here it is from the front. Looks great. We got a picture of it here from the back as well. It looks pretty nice. Here he is holding his super duper hyper mega cannon, and I really hope that he can actually hold it this time, because that was one of my big issues that I had with the Master Grade, is that he could not hold this weapon for crap. And then finally we have a picture of it in its Waverider mode, and looking at this is pretty much 100% going to be a parts former. If you look at that gray section on the back of the ship, that is very obviously one of those big old kind of core blocks that they give you with a lot of the Zeta type high grades. So you just kind of rip everything off the torso, you stick them on here. If you built any kind of Zeta high grade, you already know the drill. So a little bit disappointing, not going to lie, but honestly I think it could have been worse, and I'm really not that disappointed in this, since the alternative could have very well been a repeat of the disaster that was the real grade Zeta Gundam. And finally, we have a series of images here that show how much better the articulation is on this kit than the articulation of the old high grade. The arms here actually look like they move out pretty much the same amount, it just looks like the joint's in a different location. I'm guessing, unless there's also a universal joint at the shoulder, which is very likely, so it could very well end up having much more articulation than this, but I would have kind of expected them to have shown that off in this picture. And then the shoulders, it looks like they can also tip front just like a normal modern high grade, so that's pretty nice to see, And the torso looks like it has a little bit of movement, not a lot of movement, but it's certainly an improvement over the really awful looking old high grade, which they intentionally did not sticker to make it look as terrible as possible, but hey, not that I'm complaining. I already know the kit's crap, so I don't care if they intentionally try to make it worse for the pictures, because I know what it actually looks like, and it's not that pretty. And now moving up to the Master Grade stuff, we have a nicer, clearer image of that poster-style picture of the RX-78, the Origin version that comes with the LEDs. This is all stuff we've seen before. This is just a slightly more high-resolution version of this image, so you can see the details in it a little bit better. I just thought you guys might want to see that. Now next we have the image. This is the image that showed us that we were in fact getting a Master Grade Justice Gundam, but this is a slightly better scan of it, so I thought I'd show you guys this because it shows us also a completely unpainted Master Grade Providence Gundam, and it looks pretty awesome. It's got some nice colors on it. There's a ton of panel lines everywhere. This thing's going to be really fun to line. And we can also see that little pilot figure we're getting down in the corner, so that's pretty awesome. And then finally, something I probably should have mentioned back when I talked about the 100 Barbatos Rex, but it looks like they're doing another kind of stand promo campaign thing, because they're showing him here with a white action base 1, and they're showing some Tekadon and Yalorhorn stickers. So this seems to be a campaign they're doing with the 100 Barbatos Rex and the 100 Bale. Don't know the exact details of this. There's not a lot of text on the page, so I can't imagine that's explaining too much either. I would translate it, but as I said in one of my earlier videos, Google Translate's image scanning recognition thingy function has been not working for me for a very long time, so unfortunately there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Although if any of you guys are capable of reading this, please do. That would be very helpful. But yeah, that's basically it for news tonight, so leave a like if you enjoyed this video, share it around with your friends, because that's a great way to help this channel grow. And if you're new to Channel 2S, basically what I do is all sorts of Gunpla themed content. So right now, as of the time recording this, I'm just about to step into my review room and start reviewing the Real Grade Build Strike Gundam, so that's going to be up pretty soon. Also going to start work on another very recent high grade release, so that's certainly something to look forward to. And I always do these kind of news videos just because they're fun to do. If all that stuff sounds cool to you, be sure to hit that subscribe icon you see popping up on the screen right about now. It's that big circle with the 2 and the S in it, and if that's not shown up for some reason, there's buttons elsewhere on YouTube to subscribe. Hopefully you know how YouTube works. There's thumbnails popping up right about now, link to some of my other stuff. Go check it out, have fun. I'm Second Soundwave, and I'll be seeing you next time.